Hey everybody, it's Benny One, and I'm back at you with another movie review. Finally, here we go, baby. So, I just finished watching The Matrix Resurrections, everybody. That's right, the fourth Matrix movie in the Matrix franchise. And it's the first one to come out in a really long time, because the original trilogy came out in the 2000s. The first movie blew everybody away, like with the special effects, the bullet speed stuff, you know, the bullet time, slow motion with the digital effects. Like when that movie came out, it blew everybody away. And then when the other two movies came out, you know, they really started going crazy with the special effects, and they looked okay. At the time they looked okay, but watching the second one and the third one now, some of the special effects in it, they don't hold up the best in the world. I do enjoy the Matrix trilogy, even though the first one is clearly the best movie in the franchise. Even after watching this fourth one, unfortunately, yes, it still is very clearly the best movie in the franchise. But, so, this movie has, I mean, if you like the Matrix movies, you're going to get somewhat of enjoyment out of this movie, I would say. Now, are you going to love the movie? I guess that depends on the person, because the movie does kind of retread the original movie a little bit. Not to the point that I thought it was going to when I first started watching the movie. Because when I was about like 20 minutes into this movie, I was like, holy crap. They are literally just recreating the very first movie. Like that whole opening sequence with Neo as Mr. Anderson, you know, he's a computer programmer, and you know, when he goes to Morpheus, take the red pill or the blue pill. Good Lord, I can't even speak, sorry. But yeah, I was like, wow, they're really gonna recreate the first movie, but that isn't what the movie turned out to be. And I actually kind of liked how they did this. They took ideas and they brought things from that first movie and recreated things from the first movie also, and kind of just did them a little bit different in this movie. You could see some of them coming though, I will say that, because they did some of them that were really identical. But and the movie is super meta, very self-aware and very meta. Holy crap, this might actually be like one of the most meta self-aware movies I have seen to date. Like it's crazy. Like they're like forcing it almost at some points in the movie. It's like, okay, we get it. Warner Brothers was name dropped. I mean, literally, like the Matrix, the original trilogy was turned into a video game that Neo, Mr. Anderson made. And it's like, it's to the point where like, okay, we understand this movie is very meta, very self-aware. Okay. It did get to a point though where I was like, okay guys, you guys need to back off. And they did back off of it eventually in the movie, but the movie has the action in it that you would want from a Matrix movie. I will say that I don't think any of the action is very groundbreaking or breathtaking, really. Because if you've watched the other Matrix movies, you've seen it. The action that's in this movie, you've seen it. It's not going to blow your mind or be like, oh, wow, look at that. Like, I will say some of the special effects even, there are parts in the movie where the special effects I feel like could have been better. But then there's parts where they look freaking fantastic too. So, but I feel like in a lot of movies that come out nowadays, that kind of happens. But yeah, it has all the stuff that you would want from a Matrix movie. And I do think that this movie, the concept and the ideas that they put in this movie are great. The problem is they just couldn't quite stick the landing with all of them. But great concept for the story. And I'm not going to like dive into it really, because I don't want to totally spoil the whole movie, because I kind of do want another one. Part of me wants another one. Part of me does not want another one. Because there is part of me that is like, did we really need this movie? But the whole concept that I like is that the Matrix was rebuilt. It's a different Matrix. It operates different. Neil Patrick Harris's character, the analyst, is actually the one that runs it. I don't really know how I feel about him as being kind of like the architect of this Matrix, because this is a completely different Matrix, because the other one got destroyed and they started another one. So yeah, he's okay in the movie. Keanu Reeves is back, of course, as Neo, Mr. Anderson. He's great. I literally thought of John Wick pretty much the entire time I was watching him when he was in the Matrix, because he's got long hair and a beard and he's just John Wick. I mean, that's who Keanu Reeves is now, but he's great as Neo again. He aged a little. They aged him a little bit in the movie. The movie takes place actually 60 years after the third Matrix ended. So I thought that's what I mean. The movie's full of great ideas. And then Carrie-Anne Moss is back as Trinity. She wasn't quite in the movie as much as I thought, but she's good, especially once you get to the end of the latter part of the movie in the third act. Awesome. It was like she never left the role ever. Jessica Henwick, she plays Bugs. She's the captain of one of the new ships. She has a crew. Her crew is kind of it's characters that you just are kind of like meh. But she's pretty good in this movie. I will say I actually liked her character. She's the one that is seeking Neo and the Matrix and everything. And then you got Jada Pinkett Smith back as Niobe. Plays a different version of this character too, because like I said, this movie takes place 60 years later. So, and then there's two people in this movie. One of them, I was okay with them recasting. Obviously, I'm talking about Morpheus, and that was played by, I'm probably going to murder this dude's name, but it's Yahya Abdul Mateen II. He plays Black Manta and Aquaman. I think he was in the new Candyman too. I don't know what else he's been in, but I liked what they did with him as Morpheus, because this is a new Matrix, and obviously, you know, Lawrence Fishburne did not come back to play Morpheus, so they do explain what happened to Morpheus and why this version of Morpheus is around. And I believe that he was this different iteration in this newer Matrix as Morpheus. Like, it was believable. Now, the other guy that I'm talking about, Jonathan Groff, he plays Agent Smith, and they really should have just left this character out of this movie, because every time this guy was on screen as Smith, I couldn't buy it. I could not buy it. And I think you're doing an injustice to the character and the actor, honestly, that's trying to replicate and do what the guy that played Agent Smith. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now, but Hugo Weaving. Okay. But yeah, I think it just does an injustice to the actor that played this character before, the actor that is playing him now, and the character of Agent Smith. Like, he's not believable. Like, there's parts in the movie where he literally is mimicking and repeating what Smith says in the first movie. And I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't. And it's not Jonathan's fault at all. I just really think they should not have put this character in the movie. I really don't. Especially because, like, when he says, Mr. Anderson, or when he yells it out, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. They could have put a new character in there and let him be this new iteration, or this new completely just character. I don't know. But overall, the movie, like I said, it has great ideas, has some really cool concepts. I did enjoy it. Like I said, part of me feels like we didn't really need this movie. But then there's another part of me with the way it ended. I'm kind of like, maybe it'd be cool to see a fifth one. I don't know, to explore this newer version of the Matrix. And I mean, you got Neo and Trinity back, and there's some stuff that happens with them. They totally explain why they're alive again also. Because they died in the original trilogy. They both died. It was very clear that they were both dead. And it's believable the way that they are brought back and the way that they're still alive. It's very believable. That whole thing is what I enjoyed about the movie, was because they're like the heart and soul of this new movie, and actually kind of heart and soul of the whole franchise, to tell you the truth, by the time the movie's done. So, but yeah, I did enjoy it. Like I said, if it's got that Matrix action that you want from a Matrix movie. So I am going to give it a 7 out of 10 though. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was horrible. So 7 out of 10 for The Matrix Resurrections, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Thanks for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tube laters, because I have spoken.